Hey everyone, welcome back to the Confident Retirement Podcast brought to you by LPF Advisors. I'm your host here, Kris Flammang. Joining me are my sidekicks and fellow resident advisors, Armando and Collin. Hey guys.
Yes, sir.
How you
Thanks for
doing?
having us.
Yeah, so we're keeping things rolling here with our series on high earners not rich yet, or Henrys. We're breaking down estate planning today and protection strategies to make sure that you have full control over your hard-earned money today and for your future generations. But first, I want to go through our disclaimer. The information that we provide is strictly our opinion and not necessarily that of the firm or this platform. We provide general information only on the podcast and not any customized investment advice. Nothing should be construed as financial, legal, or tax advice. You should consult with your own professionals about your personal situation. So, Armando, take us away.
All righty, Collin. A lot of Henrys
Yes.
don't think estate planning applies to them yet, just because they're young and still accumulating. What would you say to that?
Yes, sir. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions I see. Estate planning isn't about just passing down wealth when you're older. It's about having control and clarity today. If you're earning a strong income or you maybe building equity compensation, a home, or even starting a family, you already have something worth protecting. Without a plan, state laws and court systems decide who manages your assets and care if something happens. And we want to maintain as much control as possible. So that's a pretty risky position to be in when you're working so hard to build a great future for you and your family.
Yeah, good point. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want the states or the courts deciding without my input on what for my legacy and what those monies go to. So what does a Henry need in terms of estate documents to avoid this?
At a minimum, we say three documents. So a will, a durable power of attorney, healthcare proxy. The will is going to cover it's going to name who gets your assets, who takes care of any kids if something were to happen to you. The durable power of attorney is someone that can manage your finances in the event that you were incapacitated. And number three is the healthcare proxy or living will. These cover medical conditions, sorry, not conditions, decisions and end of life preferences. So if you want to go deeper, a revocable living trust can help avoid probate, keep things private, and streamline your assets, making sure that they pass, after your lifetime as seamless as possible.
Those are all definitely useful tools during essential times in your life. How about wealth protection? What should Henrys be doing to guard what they're working so hard to build?
Great question. So, wealth protection is really about playing defense. You're earning more now, which means you're also more exposed. So, a few of the key strategies that we look at are number one, umbrella insurance. So, a few $100s a year, you can add 1 to 5 million in liability coverage on top of your auto and home insurance. Two is proper titling and beneficiaries. So, this to me is probably one of the most important and it gets overlooked the most. So making sure your 401ks, bank accounts, IRAs, they all have the same beneficiary listed. It's not whoever's on your will is not going to be covered under those beneficiaries. You want to make sure that they agree or they match, excuse me. Asset protection structures. So if you own rental property or a side business, consider holding it in an LLC. In some cases, setting up trusts or even protection trusts can be worth exploring.
They say defense wins championships. Is there a role for insurance in estate or legacy planning beyond just protection?
Yeah, so life insurance can be used not just to provide income replacement, but also to fund trusts for kids or dependents, equalize inheritance, especially if you have a business or real estate. So maybe one of your kids is heavily involved in the business and somebody and your other child is doing something else. It allows you to equalize, that opportunity there, and even cover future estate tax liabilities if your net worth keeps growing. So you don't want to forget disability insurance. This also goes, for most people unsaid, but most Henrys have income that's their greatest asset. So protect it like you would your home or your car. Check to see what you would have through work as a group benefit, but also consider adding to your personal coverage as well.
Great information. You mentioned legacy earlier, not just money, but values. Can you unpack on that?
Your financial legacy it's more than just dollars. It's about direction. So do your kids or future heirs understand your intentions by handing assets down or wealth down? Do they know why you supported certain causes or how you want your wealth to serve them in the future or even your grandkids? So a few tools are great for this. Donor advised funds, it lets you support charities now and building legacy over time. Number two is going to be our letter of intent, which can be included in your estate documents to explain wishes in plain language to make it very easy to understand. Some clients even record legacy videos, so short messages to be shared with family when they're gone. So it's not just about assets, it's about purpose.
Yeah, it's important to obviously find that purpose and direction. What's a good step for someone listening who hasn't done any of this yet?
Make it simple. Make sure you have a will, powers of attorney, healthcare directives, review those beneficiary designations. I always ask clients, are you 100% sure your spouse or whomever you want as your beneficiary is on your bank accounts, IRAs, 401ks? And if there's some kind of doubt in there, I always make sure that they double check that. If you own a business, rental, or have growing assets, talk to an estate attorney about trusts or LLCs. And last but not least, just consider writing down your intentions, financial and emotional, and share them with someone that you trust. It's not about being rich today, but it's about structuring and thinking like someone who's going to be.
All right, guys, that was a good back and forth there. And for all the Henrys out there, these are some common ways that we kind of brainstorm to protect your wealth today and in the future. The good news, hopefully you learned, is that a few smart moves, some things that you can put in place today can really set you up for long-term wealth and protecting and establishing that legacy that you want over time. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to subscribe and share it with your friends who's also in the Henry Club. And if you have more questions about this or any other financial topics, feel free to reach out to us at lpfadvisors.com, or you can drop us an email at info@lpfadvisors.com. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been the Confident Retirement Podcast brought to you by LPF Advisors. We'll see you next time. Until then, take care and be well. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Confident Retirement Podcast with Kris and Mark from LPF Advisors. For more information on them and retiring confidently, please visit lpfadvisors.com. If your ears are pleased and your mind is now at ease, do share the program with your friends and subscribe wherever podcasts are found.